taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race?
Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I'm your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam and Viral Hip Hop News. You are in the building with the most underrated, most dangerous podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere to date. The Uncensored Truth Podcast. Brother, oh God, what's good, man?
What's good, man? Happy to be here. You know, once again, the sun is shining. We shining.
Finally.
The people is listening.
Finally.
You know what I'm saying? We do appreciate everybody who's going to listen to this podcast. We kicking off the week the right way this week, man. Middle, about to be spring. You know, the NFL is about to start up again. We're going to talk about that today, man. We got some real good topics today, man. Ralo talking about coming home, Drake, Michael Jackson, a few things, man. So, Sam, man, first and foremost, man, how was your weekend, man?
It was dope, man. Coming off an electrifying week last week, man. With an abundance of great stories. Shout out to everyone who supported the stories, watched it, shared it, and beyond, man. We appreciated it. Really kind of laid low this weekend. Went and seen Captain Marvel. Saw that. Went to the movies and saw that joint. It was dope. You know what I mean? And really kind of lay low. We're looking forward to coming in here, obviously, on Monday and getting back to work. The sun is shining, like you said. Finally, it looks like spring is here, man. But it's been cold and miserable, and we've been over it. But we finally shining, man. So, real dope day. Looking forward to talking, man. But how was your weekend, Big Dog?
Oh, man, it was great, man. Just, you know, more of the same, but sometimes routine is good, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, just anxious again to get back here, man, to get back to the grind, get back to what we do, how we make the magic. That's how the magic is made, man.
Indeed, man. You're listening to the music about Riz and Conway. More Malcolm, less Martin. You can find that on iTunes. That link will be in the description box, man. But, oh, God, what we got going on first, man?
We're going to talk about Ralo. We're going to talk about Ralo because we covered this. I don't know if we were doing a podcast at this time, but I know we definitely covered it, you know, at some point, a few times, you know, on our show. But Ralo, you know, gave an update. Now, we know about a year ago, he was arrested for pretty much transporting. He was caught transporting, you know, hundreds of pounds of marijuana from California to Georgia. They hit him up. The feds brought him in. But Ralo, his team actually went on Instagram yesterday, and I'll post it right there on the screen. He said, I told y'all the boy was coming home this year. Court was amazing today. No arrest warrants, no search warrants, no nothing. You know, and this comes off, you know, about a couple weeks ago, I did a story about Ralo, you know, again, saying that they offered him $5 and he pretty much laughed at him, the feds. And I thought it was a good sign at that point, you know, if they did, you know, in fact, offered him $5 because what he was looking at initially was football numbers. But what do you think, though, man? Ralo, overconfident, or would you say that he knows something we don't know?
I mean, well, he might know something we don't know in this situation. Now he's sitting there. He was on his Instagram, like you said. He said there wasn't and still hasn't been any search warrants, no warrants provided during the arrest and search of the private plane, which is huge. They don't come with that paperwork. They weren't supposed to be in there, no matter what they found. And if they know that to be true, then hell, maybe they know something that we don't. And that being the case, he might be home right when he said he would. And that would be a great sign because we said numerous times throughout the podcast when we were covering Ralo that we kind of a little unjust what was going on. Now, we all know that he was promoting the money and that money has to be accounted for. And we all got into the bits and the pieces on why he really was sitting up in jail. But the end all be all was he was sitting in jail for carrying $2 million worth of marijuana over in a private plane back to Atlanta to Little Pakistan, to place in Atlanta where he was helping and housing a lot of people on his dollars. So, I mean, this looks good for Ralo, and I'm happy for Ralo, man.
Yeah, man. Some great points, you know. And a lot of times this is what happened, you know, when guys get caught up, they don't have the representation or the money to get the representation to find the little mistakes that were made in the process. Now, for him to come out and say they had no arrest warrants, no search warrants, and a lot of times that would, you know, if they have to follow the rule of the book, they have to now, you know, remove anything that they found is now irrelevant because you had no reason to even go in there. But you need a lawyer to bring that up, a great lawyer to bring that up. And from what it sounds like, you know, if they offered him 5 years, they want him to take a plea. He's like, nah, I can beat it. He turned it down. Now he's saying one. Obviously they look pretty confident, from what they're posting. And it could be one of those situations. I hear stories about it all the time when you hear guys, he got caught up, with this and the gun. Matter of fact, I had a family member who got caught with a gun, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't have, I think it was a warrant or whatever to search him, and he beat the charge. So shit happens.
Oh God, let me ask you a question. And that being said, does he look like he's going to do any time? Will he beat this charge all the way and walk out of jail a free man once his hearing comes? And they present the evidence that they had no right to be in the airplane to begin with, the private plane. Will he walk?
Yeah, he should be. If he beats the charge, he should be able to. If he goes and he wins, he leave. Yeah.
Another question I got for you. Oh God, now walking out of prison a free man, happy as can be finally. Because how long has he been sitting in there? About a year now.
About a year now. Yeah.
About a year now, and he's looking like he's going to get out. What's the next move for Ralo? It doesn't look like he's going to slow down, given the fact of the Instagram and things like that. But he got eyes on him like a motherfucker.
I think he'll smarten up. I mean, a lot of people was putting in the comment section like, he just go to Colorado and this, that. I don't think that he would continue to do that. That'd be stupid. I mean, if you in the Fed, you facing life and you get out of there, you better not go back to what they tried to accuse you of. And you went on the technicality, something like where they didn't have a search warrant or the right to even do what they did. You better not do that again. He made a lot of money just doing it legally and legit. I mean, I did a story on him, and when I was doing the story, I looked for little clips on his Instagram where his mom, he was doing stuff for the neighborhood, the community. It was just nothing but love. So this is a good dude, is what it appears to be. I don't know him personally, but from what I can see from the outside, it looks like a real good dude that's doing a lot for people in his area. And he shouldn't be in there for no marijuana, man. We agreed on that. Unanimously. He definitely shouldn't be there on no marijuana charges. So I think that it looks good for him. Hopefully the young man comes out and he won't miss a beat. He's gonna make him even a bigger star in music.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's doing far more impact outside on these streets helping his people than he is inside of jail. And no matter, and as much as we think that the crime is crazy and for that not to go down, especially you spent the money on the marijuana, it's your plane, do what you do on it. I don't really see the issue, but that being said, people are going to start talking about legalities and stuff. Y'all can have that in the comment section. All you want to appreciate the view, but hopefully he doesn't do it again. Hopefully he finds himself in a situation where he smartens up, and I do believe that'll be the case, where he smartens out, knowing all eyes are on him in the state of Georgia the second he walks free. Yeah. So we do far more impact on the streets, helping the people that really look up to you, than sitting in the jail cell, even if it is as silly as a crime as it is.
Right. And we'll, I know you're gonna have your naysayers out there that pretty much going to say, "Oh, he's crazy, he's delusional." You're gonna have that, but I feel confident with his team saying that. I don't think they'll put that out there as a smoke screen. I feel like they went to court, obviously, and they found out some information that we don't know, and they put it out there. So free Ralo. I can't wait to see him come home, and continue to do what he was doing.
Agree.
Definitely. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sandman. Going in today on this Monday, everybody that's listening on YouTube, y'all know what I need y'all to do. Go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure that you share this video. I want to talk about the Michael Jackson. Once again, the Leaving Neverland, documentary dropped, and a lot of people have been voicing their opinion. And a lot of people have been making a lot of rash, emotional decisions because of that. Now, put Drake in the spotlight. Now, Drake, it appears that pretty much Drake has dropped the song featuring Michael Jackson from a set list and in his UK concert tour. Now, according to the website setlist.fm, the rapper's performance at the Manchester Arena did not include Don't Matter to Me, a track from his Scorpio album that was him singing alongside vocals recorded by Jackson in 1983. In a session with Paul Anka. Now, Drake has previously recorded, with this song. Now it seems like he's taking this out of the lineup, removing it, and obviously amid the fresh allegations, Leaving Neverland, and the public backlash from Michael Jackson at this point. Sandman, how do you feel, about Drake taking this, making this decision?
It's far beyond Drake. It's a lot of people in media. And it screams to the hypocrisy of a lot of people that they ride waves. Now, no matter if you believe he's innocent or he's guilty, that's your prerogative. That is your truth. Can't nobody take you off of your truth. They can validate it or they can go against it. That's up to you. But when you look at a situation where a lot of people knew all of the allegations that were out there, this man has been dead for 10 years. And now because of a documentary that comes out by two sources, now all of a sudden, because the media is so dark upon Michael Jackson, it's very easy for you just to go, nah, I'm not going to do it. That screams hypocrisy. And that's real corny to me. That's fucking whack. And where are your morals? Where are your balls? Where your balls at, Drake? And like I said, that goes for a lot of people out there, but because you don't see a lot of people going and pointing on the side of Michael Jackson and showing their support for Michael Jackson. And not to say that they have to, but the hypocrisy of looking at a documentary now and not ever having a cross-examination to two sources that are known to lie. Not two sources that are credible, not two sources that never had any black eye on them, two sources that are known to lie. No cross-examination, no questions asked to this, that, or the third. Everything steered in their direction. And now it's cool for them to take a man's legacy out the way without any rebuttal. Okay, and now Drake wants to take his music off because it's not popular, because it's a wave. When you took the song without his his family's consent to begin with, music unheard by anybody. It was a Michael Jackson song, unfinished. And you take the bars, or you take whatever, you get clearance, however you do, against a lot of the family members' will. And now you go ahead and you take away. And with you doing that, Drake, a lot of your fans are going to do the same because a lot of them follow you. So if you supported Michael Jackson, a lot of the people that might have been on the fence may look at it a little deeper. And it's a shame.
It sucks, man, because at the end of the day, man, you know, the bottom line with this whole, situation is that, first of all, this man is dead. This man has had his time in court, and it's setting a new precedent now, because now you have it where, like we were saying in pre-production, now it's to the point where you can have someone that actually brings out mere allegations against you, and enough people actually believe this allegation, then people are actually going to start running with it and taking, action, against this person, actually believing that this person did what they said that he did. And it's just sad, man. Now, like we said, Michael Jackson did a lot of things where people would deem questionable, but to do that to children, I don't think he did. I'll stand on that. I think that this is, an opportunity for somebody to come up off of his name. I don't know what they call it, clout chasing. They're trying to get money, fame, notoriety. I think that they're lying. That's just what I feel in my heart. I mean, again, we talked about this on numerous occasions, but for the new people that are going to see this, we talked about the 10-year FBI investigation. We talked about, him, going, to court. And we got to remember, when you go to court and you're accused of something like that, they're taking rape kits, they're taking DNA, they're taking all this to try to, find out if you did it. This man was found innocent of this. He's an innocent man now that's dead, that's being dragged through the media, his legacy being destroyed off of just mere allegations. That's it.
You know the thing, and I'm glad that you went personal on it. Not personal, but you gave your opinion on how you feel as far as with Michael Jackson, whether he's guilty or innocent, because I feel the same. But I want to go a different direction, because what bothers me about this is, no, you know what? Whether you liked him or you disliked him because of the allegations, or is your prerogative. But I hope in you not liking him, you didn't listen to his music before this. You didn't support him before this. It wasn't just a whisper and just shit talking and making fun of, because that was the popular thing to do, to point fingers and laugh. And the media did a great job at pointing fingers and laughing at Michael Jackson. And I guess people who didn't like him or had questions as to his behavior kind of joined along the band and pointed fingers and threw forks at him too. So if you felt that way, fine, but I hope you didn't support his music. To the people now, because it's popular, because it's a wave, because everybody is quote unquote muting this and muting that, and it's popular in this day and age to mute this or mute that. Now they just want to run and destroy a man's legacy 10 years removed. Right. Let's strip Michael Jackson out of the equation. Let's put anybody in there that put in the body of work, and all of a sudden their name is taken out of the equation. 10 years removed from their death. 10 years removed. We talk about Hitler like he's a piece of trash, but we still sell his book. Come on, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and you have all, not to say that Michael Jackson is guilty, but you have all, types of people, and that we, as Americans, venerate as heroes that were mass murderers, rapists, slave owners. So that just is what it is, man. Sad to actually see this, man, because his music, I think his music far transcends, any allegation still to this day, any allegation that could come out, any guys trying to lie on them, you know what I mean? I just think it transcends that.
And even us bringing up the points of the slave master or the hypocrisy or Hitler or anything crazy like that, it doesn't condone pedophilia. Let me make
Not
that
at all.
clear. The Uncensored Truth podcast does not condone pedophilia. We are fathers. We don't play that shit. We were raised in the village. We understand the importance. Don't play that game. But in this situation, whether it be popular or not, if we think a motherfucker's innocent, we're going to say he's innocent. And if we think he's guilty, we're going to say he's guilty. So in this situation, we feel as though in our heart of hearts, whether it be validated by your truth or not, that the Uncensored Truth feels like Michael Jackson is innocent of the crime.
And we just do it by looking at what's on the table. I mean, you gotta. It's just like when they have a juror and they put all the evidence in front of you. You have the right to form your opinion. Say, I think they did it. I think they didn't do it. We feel with the evidence that we have, and a lot of people say, "Oh, watch the documentary." I don't need to watch propaganda.
Thank you.
I don't need to do that. I go with the information that's available already. Why would I subject myself, to somebody's opinion to alter what I already know? There's no need for me to do that. So, again, it's just an allegation. And here's what I'll say in closing, because we were talking about this also in a pre-production. What if that was you? What if that was your family member, and for a shadow of a doubt you didn't do it, but since you had money, fame, notoriety, you were an important person, you did a lot, you accomplished a lot. Now somebody that you may have met and even helped wants to come back now and say that you did something you didn't do. Imagine that. And people are now starting to believe it. And now you're dead. But imagine if you was even alive. You're not even here to defend yourself. Just imagine that for a minute if you didn't do it.
Let me ask you a question, oh God, in closing in this. Does Michael Jackson's family, his brothers, his sisters, Janet, need to come out and speak for Mike, because he's not here and his name and his legacy is being destroyed? Whether you believe him or not, is being destroyed. And you hear his nephew coming out and defending him, and has been defending him and has been on his back for the strength, really, but not the brothers and the sisters. Do you feel as though Michael Jackson's family, although they are suing the full HBO and things like that, you see that, should they be out here publicly going a little more to bat for Michael Jackson if in fact he is innocent?
That's a good question. I would say, yeah. I mean, some people will say, the best thing you could do is sue, but they need that mouthpiece. They need that spokesperson who's going to step up and vehemently, denounce this. We read little articles and things like that, but I want to see a video of somebody saying this is a lie and why this is a lie. These dudes did this. These dudes are in it for the money, and actually show proof. They got to get like that. I mean, I don't know if they have somebody like that in their family. Sometimes you have family where people are they just get what they can get from the situation. They might not be emotionally attached, but I know there's somebody in that big Jackson family. Come on, man. And one of his nephews was on TMZ, so I give him credit. Right. So forget about that. But that you have to stand up. Even if you have to come on our platform or another platform and put the information out there that these people are lying, because believe it or not, they have the media outlets, but if the narrative, what I'm trying to say is that YouTube right now is just as big as your HBOs or your other, outlets. That's why it's important, for us, to put the correct information out there on different narratives like this Michael Jackson, thing, and it's easy for us just to follow the wave and say, oh, that's disgusting. Did you see that? Michael Jackson accused of, this. That's easy. But to really, sift through the truth and give the truth, because we know, saying, man, both of us, if Michael Jackson was guilty, if we had evidence, we would say he was guilty right all day long. We would say it.
Fuck about his music.
We
fuck about his music like that.
We feel that he's innocent from what's on the table. So
that's a fact, man. I agree.
Definitely. But yeah, man, you tune into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sandman, going in today on this Monday. I want to jump over here to this next story, man. An Empire actor, Jussie Smollett. Now, last week we did a broadcast about this, and I said that I didn't believe that it would, carry as much weight, and I was completely, actually wrong about that. But we now found out that Empire's actor Jussie Smollett was indicted on 16 counts by the grand jury, and it's been rumored up to that he could face anywhere to 64 years in prison. Now, he's being charged from things like, lying to the police about being a victim of a racist and homophobic, hate crime. We know all the details about what he lied about, but I just didn't think that he would get this time. I'm saying, man, what do you think, about these developments of him actually maybe even doing a life sentence for what he did. Do you feel like that's just? How you feel about that?
It's sad.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And I guess shame on all of us at the end of the day, because when this initially happened, and no doubt in my mind, he deserves to be criticized. No doubt in my mind, he needs to be embarrassed a little bit. He may need to sit his ass down. But when I said sit his ass down, I was saying 6 months.
Right.
Maybe 6 months and some real limited shit to where no harm was going to be done, but to sit your ass down. 64 fucking years. Now, I'm not condoning any of his actions. It was some fuck boy shit.
Definitely.
All day long. You don't go out there and try to initiate a race war. You don't go out there and try to divide lines. You don't go out there and initially try to do this and that, or go to the lengths that you did in order to get some unnecessary attention or some extra money. You don't deserve to do that. Right. Sit your ass down for a couple months. But no one got hurt. No one died. He was embarrassed. The people came out within weeks. Law enforcement did their job. No, go figure.
Yeah.
And you got caught. So I think that a 6 months to a year is justified. No, I'm no lawyer. I'm not in the law or anything like that. But 64 fucking. I told you 16 counts kind of seemed a bit much to me, given the nature of the crime, and especially we can go through history right now and go through the number of times that Black people, and I hate to bring up race, but we're gonna have to bring it up right now.
Yeah, sir.
Because the number of times we've been hung, killed, put in jail for life for quote unquote whistling or doing this or grabbing this that wasn't true, and no one even turned a blind eye.
Yeah.
And we still don't.
Right. And I think it'd be cruel and unusual punishment, if he does get 64, anything close to that, maybe a year, sit up in there, come out with some probation. He deserves to have still a life after something like this. I don't think he should be behind, put in servitude, for something like this, even though it's a disgusting, crime that what he did, because it could have, injured a lot of people. And that's what maybe that's the way they're looking at it. That's where we get the years and all the counts and everything like that. But with that being said, I think that, again, I'm no lawyer like you say, but I don't see him doing anything over 5. I think some way, somehow he'll get something lenient. The judge will be lenient if he's apologetic enough. I think that the judge will, lighten that up on him. I think that's just the max possible of what he can get if he's convicted of every single element. That's not counting them, reducing some things, dropping some things. And, again, if he's apologetic, he might get a break. But I think that's a bit excessive.
Does this speak to them making a point? Don't fuck with ours. Don't even try this. I mean, even to throw 64 years and 16 counts out there is crazy. No one in their wildest imagination thought that. No, I seen somebody in our comment section and it made me laugh. It's a brother and he's pro-Black. He said he should do life. He should do life for putting people in danger. He should do life for putting that out there and just making a mockery. I disagree.
That's excessive. Yeah,
it's excessive.
Now,
to me.
if people died as a result, if you could prove that it was like a war and people started, then that may be different. But if nothing, you can't prove that anything happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Crazy. Now, do we do him a disservice in publicly going at him the way we did after the crime, or did he deserve that? I still feel as though he deserved all that shit.
I mean, we ain't really go out. We talking about us or in general, or the media?
The media in general, especially the Black media.
Yeah,
we got on him a little bit, but I feel like that's justified.
Yeah, because you can't be doing shit like that, man. Come on, man.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Now you out of a job. Like, at what point did you think? I guess he did think that they would eat this up. But everything now, I was just telling you, more and more stories are coming out about him even lying about he was on the phone and with his manager. Now they wanted his phone records. He didn't want to give that up.
The hate mail.
The hate mail, which was they found that was sent by him. There's just too much holes in the story, man. He didn't think this thing through right.
Ignorance. And it's a damn shame. And whether he does 64 or even 5 is a bit excessive, but
hell yeah,
he gonna learn from this shit.
Yeah, he definitely gonna learn from it.
He's gonna learn, man.
And we hear that his jobs is drying up and all that. I just think, it was a stupid mistake, but he doesn't deserve to be in there what they're saying now.
Yeah,
definitely. But man, but you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman. Going in today on this Monday, everybody that's listening on YouTube, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. I'm gonna switch it up before we jump to the other story. Say, man, and go to sports a little bit. Talk about a little bit of sports, man. I had to talk about Deshaun Jackson. Today he's actually everybody, this is buzzing right now, man. And now, according to league sources, the Philadelphia Eagles have acquired Deshaun Jackson from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is coming out by way of ESPN and all other, sources. Now, they're saying that the deal is a 3-year deal to be worth about $27 million over 3 years. They said Jackson will get about $13 million in guaranteed money. Jackson is 32 years old. We know he was an explosive player for the Eagles. Scorched the Redskins, scorched the Giants, scorched the Cowboys. Then we gave him up because that chump ass Chip Kelly who broke up the team. But anyway, Sam, man, what do you think about Deshaun Jackson back in the NFC East, man?
I don't know why we're talking about football. It's March. But if I got to talk about football in March, man, I'm not very excited about it. Great player. Played for the Redskins, too. We got not what we needed out of him as far as worth. I mean, and I put a lot of that on the front office and stuff. I don't give any criticism to any player that walked in on a Redskins uniform because I understand now. I'm a realistic fan.
Right.
Shout out to a real one. But, man, y'all looking good, man. Shout out to you. Fuck y'all. And
we got Malik Jackson, picked him up from the
that's another trending one.
Yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars. Looking, I like the moves that we made, are making now. I wanted Eagles to keep Foles. We talked about that, but it is what it is. Now Wentz going to have to do what he has to do. But the Redskins did pick up, Landon Collins, from the Giants, which I think is going to be a pretty good move for y'all. Yeah, your defense wasn't too bad.
We need a secondary.
Right.
So we needed a safety. So great pick. I don't know if we overpaid at $84 million yet. We will see. That has to play out. So we got to come out there and ball and kind of and man up to that contract. We all know that his idol is number 21, who I got across my computer right there, the great Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got some big shoes to fill, man. Go ahead and put that number 6 on and do some work.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor.
Facts.
But yeah, man, it's been a lot of moves. Today also Nick Foles, as we know, went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, signed a huge deal, with them. I'm going to pull the numbers up in a second. But yeah, man, NFL's around the corner now. What's up with Colin Kaepernick? Is he going to be picked up, by a team or what? How's that going to work out?
I have not heard anything about Colin Kaepernick, and quite honestly, I haven't really been paying attention too heavy on the Colin Kaepernick NFL situation and him begging for a job. I guess when it comes over my ticker and I find out, we'll talk about it on the podcast because I really don't know. I haven't heard anything as far as no. Have you?
Nah, I haven't.
Nah.
But it's interesting, to see. I think he's going to end somewhere, like they said, Carolina. One of them teams.
Oh God, I'm gonna send you something via Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
I want to send you this. He played this a couple days ago. This is in reference to Antonio Brown. We all know Antonio Brown went to the Raiders a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith had a lot to say about how Antonio Brown was going about the whole situation. Okay. So I think I just sent that to your computer. And if you want to grab that, and then we could play a little bit of that, you could stop that whenever it's a 10-minute clip, and we'll be definitely engaged. But whenever you wanted to stop that and kind of let's give some commentary and context to this.
No doubt.
Because it kind of ties into what we're talking about, but throws a little one sense of truth in it. Now, we all know our man Stephen A. Smith grew up liking that brother, really enjoying his commentary, his work.
Facts.
With the Philadelphia Inquirer. Loved him on on ESPN too, but quite frankly, really rolled with him with his work with the Sixers and things like that. Was supportive of him when he came to First Take. But then he started shifting in that, and we started seeing a little bit of a different side.
The millions started to come in.
You feel me? So we've been a little critical of him as of late.
Yeah.
And definitely cross-examining or having rebuttal to a lot of his commentary. He said this on his radio station, was very heartfelt about it. I want to play a little bit of it. Now, you haven't heard any of this, and let me just get your thoughts on it.
All right.
Hopping out the Lex, I felt like Malcolm X. Marching with the shooters like Martin Luther. 40 cal SK or the fucking Ruger. Don't ever question if I got the heart to shoot.
As we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always.
That's ludicrous.
Agreed.
Definitely. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man. Going in today on this Monday, I want to give a special shout out to everybody listening on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you're listening at. Peace to you. And we do appreciate every single second that you listen to this podcast. Sam, man, you had a story about Stephen Kerr and Draymond Green.
Yeah, man. So we all know the Warriors. They are the champs, the reigning champs. I think 2-time now. They're going for the 3-peat. And we all know the rumors. If you're an NBA fan, of Draymond Green may be leaving the Golden State Warriors after this year. I think he's an unrestricted free agent, so he'll be able to go in and shop the market and see what kind of money he has out there. Steve Kerr, the coach, everyone loves him. Everyone thinks he was great. Greatest thing since sliced bread out there in Golden State. Well, he said something. It looks like he slipped and said something. We'll play that for the people. I sent that to you. They see it on the screen right now. Well, it looks like he says, I'm so fucking tired of Draymond Green. Oh, God, is this something to really look into? Or is this just coaching players and him genuinely having love, but just Draymond getting on his nerves?
It's something that shouldn't come out. You shouldn't come out in the media. I know the NBA is different, than the NFL a little bit. And the NFL is a little more, seems like they try to keep stuff more in-house. It's like a sin to really know that it's a feud between anybody. But, I just come from that. Like, that shouldn't come out when it's a rift in the family. It shouldn't come out for people, to see. I guess it reached a boiling point. I mean, how we should look at it. I mean, I think it'll work itself out, obviously, but it also could, turn into a point where he may have to get out of town, or one of them guys might have to go. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man. And like you said, I agree with you 100%. It's a family situation. It should be in-house, but we're in a day and age where everything is out there. And he probably had no idea he was being filmed at that time when he said that, and they got him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think Draymond Green could be possibly leaving. All things do come to an end. We were Chicago Bull lovers growing up, and love when we seen Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and them brothers, Horace Grant, BJ Armstrong. I can go on and on. Win their first 3 championships, and then when Jordan retired, when did that dumbass baseball shit, we just was sunk.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they finally came back and hit another 3 against the Utah Jazz, some great years.
Yeah,
we didn't want to see that end. And when Jordan left and went to Washington, that shit was whack. We didn't want to see that end. All good things come to an end. So a lot of these Warrior fans out here that just love to see the Splash Brothers doing their thing and all this stuff, eventually that, unfortunately, guys, are going to have to come to an end too. And they're going to have to rebuild and do their thing. It's a business.
Yeah.
So it's a family thing, but it might be a little smoke to that fire. He may be going after this year. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, there you have it, man. Another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast in the books, man. All music that's played here is brought to you by Riz 609. Now, song over there, man. We appreciate everybody who listened to this episode. We're going to be right back tomorrow, Tuesday, with another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. Well, if you can, no matter where you're listening, please just share this, whether you're iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play. Go ahead and just share this with at least one person. Let them know. Check out the Uncensored Truth podcast. Give us a listen, man. Hopefully you like it. Definitely.
Appreciate it, man. And indeed, we'll be dropping this Tuesday morning on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all major online outlets. We recorded the night before, then you get it the morning. So good morning to everybody out there listening to the Uncensored Truth podcast. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here rocking with us. We do appreciate it. Make sure you tell a friend that the Uncensored Truth podcast is in the building and we are here to stay. Oh, God, can't wait to see you tomorrow for another episode, brother. That's all I got, man.
That's all I got as well. Yeah, have a great night, and we are out of here, man. Peace.
We are oppressed. We are exploited.
Hopping out the Lex, I felt like Malcolm X. Marching with the shooters like Martin Luther. 40 cal SK or the fucking Ruger. Don't ever question if I got the heart to
As
shoot.
we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back.
They say the best things come from the worst shit. This all facts, this ain't no verse shit. I done fought the